Hi, talofa lava. My name is Lenny Solomona, and I live in Hamilton. I'm the director of the 1touchMinistries in Samoa. What would I say to the brothers when it comes to this particular condition? I think for me, it's add value to your body, add value to your health, add value to your life. There's a verse in the Bible in James chapter 4, verse 14 that says that our lives are like a vapor. It's like a mist. In other words, one moment it's there and the next minute it's gone. There's a lot of things that we don't have control over in society. One of them is natural disasters like earthquakes and tsunamis and storms. But as a leader, as a person who has a mission in life to help add value to people's lives, I have total control over what I put in my body. And I think if there's one thing that I would like to encourage you is that I don't need motivation when it comes to looking after or adding value to your life. What I really want is to impose self-discipline in my life. And I just want to encourage the brothers that if that's something that's a struggle with you, that you can't impose self-discipline, then I want to encourage you to reach out and find someone, have that accountability, because we have so much to offer in life, and we're often seen as the leaders in our family, and so it all starts with us. And I just wanted to say that it's not selfish to add value to yourself first, because you can't give what you don't have. At a very young age, I suffered from overconsumption of alcohol. How did I overcome it? It didn't happen overnight, but I think part of it was just my faith. As soon as I changed when I had an encounter with God and became a Christian, I began to really understand the effects that it had on my life and my future and my calling. I just want to encourage the brothers that, going back to what I said before, adding value to your life. When we start drinking and we're overconsumption, and, you devalue your life. And we've got so much to give, especially when we're leading our families. So I just want to encourage you, to reach out. I used to be a Coke addict, a Coke addict. And, someone said to me one day, just go cold turkey. It only lasted a few days. And, what I did was, because back then I used to drink like 10 cans a day. So, what I did was I decided I'd try and drink 9 cans and then 8 cans. And by the time I got down to 1, I began to lose that addiction. And I just want to encourage you, if it's the same with you, you might not be able to go cold turkey, but just try and just begin by just cutting down. There's a verse in the Bible in Hosea 4:6 that says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." And I think what we really need to do is we need to do our homework, and it's really important that you find out what chemicals are actually in the vaping, because, after doing my study, it's actually more dangerous than the smoking that we've often come to understand in the past. And again, I just want to encourage you that when it comes to vaping, if you can go cold turkey, that's fine. But it's just something that you just really need to commit to the Lord. And I just want to encourage you in general. We've got too much to give in the short amount of time that we have here on earth. And I just want to encourage you, brothers, that we live in a very fat society today. There's so much more processed foods available, and now with the mechanisms, with the phone, we can just get it just with a touch of a button. I really want to encourage you to just fully understand and embrace the plan that God has for each and every one of us, and part of that is to really look after ourselves. So I hope that really encourages you, and it's an honor to just share these few words with you. Thank you.